One of the first features I want to talk about this year that really differentiates NBA 2K12 from 11 is the NBA's Greatest feature. This feature is born from the idea of the Jordan Challenge that we did in 2K11, where we recreated 10 of Jordan's most recognizable games that we let you replay. So this year with NBA 2K12, we have this NBA's Greatest feature, which takes what we think are 15 of the greatest and most influential players in NBA history, and we really put them in the spotlight on a pedestal for you to kind of play with their teams, play against formidable opponents from their era, and just really recreate these important matchups and heroes from the NBA's past. And what really sets this mode apart from other parts of the game is the actual presentation elements that really went into it. An example is if you play the Bill Russell game, which is the 1965 Celtics against the Lakers from the same year. Everything's in black and white. It's got like a grainy black and white effect. The corners of the screen are going to be totally blacked out. It's really recreating what you saw on television, as TVs in that era didn't really push the image to the extremities of the tube, so it really gives you that feel. The Jerry West game has kind of a staticky image still, but it's early color. It's kind of pastel colored, a little Gilligan's Island Technicolor effect going on. And as you progress into the 80s, you start to get a little bit more vibrant color. The overlay styles really change. And by the time you get to the 90s, you start to see the modern, colorful graphics take effect. So you really kind of take a trip back through the NBA's history, and you learn so much about the players. As we have Steve Kerr joined our booth this year to kind of do three-man commentary with Kevin Harlan and Clark Kellogg. And it's really cool because we wrote entire scripts for these guys to come in and read stories about the players. And as soon as they came in, we told them what we were doing. They were very excited. And they were just basically like, we don't really need scripts for these. We've coached with these guys, we've played with these guys. So they just kind of rattled off these stories, and they just, bantered back and forth in our studio for many, many hours on this. And what happens in the game is it really creates a organic flowing commentary, because these are real stories of these guys just talking back and forth. You can totally tell they're not reading from a script. And what that means for our fans is just insight that, you really can't get anywhere else. These are stories that no one's ever heard. So it's a great history lesson for everyone who's an NBA fan, just through the last 45 years of the league. And anyone who's a fan of the NBA is going to love the NBA's Greatest.
Parker said over the summer that he didn't think the Spurs could win a championship anymore. So what a run it's been, 50 win seasons.
We have 34 classic teams in the game this year, which is a staggering number considering there's only 30 NBA teams. It really gives you a scale of how much work there was in the game this year. As far as value goes, we really feel like we gave our customers more value than ever before. It's almost like 2 games in 1 with the real NBA and this whole retro league. But getting back to kind of recreating these players, every single player you play with in this mode is completely authentic. We have no fake players in here, and that just really speaks volumes to the amount of effort we went to in going out and licensing each and every single player. With NBA 2K12's ISO motion system, you're going to be able to more easily perform moves that you're looking for. And specifically on our post game, we have an all-new post game that you just press Y to engage, or triangle on PS3 if you will. And as soon as once you're engaged in this post system, every button on the controller is open to you, which gives you a whole new range of moves you can perform much easier. In years past, you'd have to hold one trigger and hold the other trigger and move the right stick, like you were playing another game. Just very difficult. This year it's simple button presses. You'll hold the left stick into the dribbler and hold the shot stick to the right away from him to do kind of a step back. Very simple moves. Pretty much anyone can jump in and play the post this year. And it's an underused strategy in the NBA 2K series, and we really didn't feel like people were taking advantage of this whole side of NBA strategy. So we really feel like people are going to play the game differently this year. And we're really excited to deliver what I feel is probably the best post game ever in an NBA basketball game.
Here's Abdul Rauf. And the pass to Pat.
As for the future of the NBA 2K franchise and what it holds, we'll have to stay tuned to find that out. I'd be lying if I didn't say that we probably have another 5 years worth of features designed and ready to go. We have a very passionate team. We're the only thing we're limited by is time. With the success of NBA 2K11, maybe a lot of people thinking we should play it safe, not change anything. I think we really blew that door wide open this year with the addition of the NBA's Greatest and 375 new classic players, an online franchise, and incredible improvements to my player, incredible improvements to gameplay. We really continue to evolve this game, and it just goes to show that we're not afraid of continuing to grow the sports market and really change the way our game is played.
The Spurs last season, they got to 40 wins before the end of January. That was a team.
So the most exciting thing for me in NBA 2K12 are the mass improvements we've made to our My Player mode. It's probably my favorite mode in the game, and this is a career mode where you kind of create your player and you play out his entire career. Player locks to that single player, meaning you're always the guy that you create. It's really a lot of unique things we've done in the mode this year. We've really grown the concept of developing your personality and really rewarding you through endorsements. If you play well enough, you're going to start to see your guy on magazine covers, billboards. He'll start his own television commercials this year. You'll see David Stern at the draft. He'll actually be on the podium calling out names. We brought in David Stern this year. We even brought in Adam Silver to come in and do things for us. Your player earns contracts this year. You can make the Hall of Fame and give your own custom speech. I can go on and on. The list of my player improvements is incredible this year, and I'm really, really excited for people to play it and give me their feedback ultimately.